So welcome to this open day talk from Sound, Light and Live Event Technology. My name is Ben Sams. I am the program leader for this course. So firstly, traditional disclaimer, this is correct in April 2020. Things might change later on. The Sound, Light and Live Event Technology course has received, for the last 3 years, it has received a 100% satisfaction rating in the National Student Survey. And not just that, we've actually received 100% from our current student survey. So every year the National Student Survey is aimed towards third years, so all third years take that, and our first years, our foundation years and our second years take a current student survey. And for the last 3 years as well, they've also had 100%. So before we talk about the course is about or anything like that, I hope that you can understand that actually we as staff on this course really concentrate on making sure that you as students are having a good time, that you are learning well, you're experiencing the practical side of the course, but also just having a great time as well. And I would like to think that these statistics prove that. So let's move on to the more kind of academic side. Firstly, why should you come and study at the University of Derby on a course such as Sound, Light and Live Event Technology? It isn't just a course that trains you on how to use equipment. Is a course that gets you to understand, a course that gets you to have that ability to explore and engage with yourself so you can really understand how things work and you can use problem solving skills more so than other people would have. We don't just deliver the technical part of the course, but also we deliver transferable skills, things that you wouldn't learn in a training course, things like presentation skills, employability, how to get jobs at the end of this. We set you up with all the great contacts that we have. If you see photos from any of our events or any gigs, you'll notice that we have a fair amount of equipment. We own every single piece of equipment that you see there. We take great pride. In fact, we invested over just under £200,000 last academic year in brand new equipment, both in lighting and sound desks. And by doing this, it means that we are always at the cutting edge of equipment. But if anything breaks, because we are an engineering degree, we don't just send it back to the person that we borrowed it from. It is our equipment. If it breaks, we fix it. And when I say we, I don't mean the staff. We openly ask students to come fix it. Take a few years ago, we upgraded our lighting desk. I purchased the upgrade and it turned out it was just a motherboard and the associated equipment to do there. I sent a message out to our student Facebook page over the summer, said, are any students here? If you are, do you fancy opening up our lighting desk, taking it out the computer and putting a new computer in? And I spent a good week or so with a few students upgrading our lighting desk. We have moving lights that break quite regularly and students regularly come and fix them. That is what we do. We are an engineering degree and we like to play and fix things. We are a real full-sized university. Just think about that. Think about what anywhere else that you are applying right now or anywhere else you're looking at. Are they a real full-size university? Now that's important because as we're a full-size university, we have a rather large award-winning wellbeing department to look after your mental health and your wellbeing at the University of Derby. Not just that, we have a huge library full of resources, not just technical subjects for us, but other resources that you might be interested in. I remember when I came to study here, I also took a great interest in computing and ended up reading quite a lot of computing books. We have a great pride in our graduates. The Sound, Light and Live Event Technology course has been running for over 20 years, and our graduates are regularly cherry-picked by leading firms. Quite often we get phone calls and emails from numerous different employers, all of which are right at the very top of the industry, saying, Ben, anyone else, have you got any graduates? We need 1 or 2 people that are right at the top of your course. And often, by this time of the year, by April, we are turning people away, saying, sorry, we have run out of graduates for you. Because most of our graduates, by the end of their graduate, if they want to stay in this industry, if they want to carry on, we will be able to find them a job. And that's pretty exciting. We also have great academic staff expertise, not just in the live events industry, but also in research. So I'm just going to take a few minutes now for our staff to introduce themselves to you.
Hi, my name is Mark Dring. I hope you're all well. Just take this opportunity to introduce myself and also the modules that I teach on. So I'm a lecturer on the Sound, Light and Live Event Technology course. I teach on a number of modules on our foundation year. I teach sound technology in year 1, I teach acoustics in year 2, and I also teach electroacoustics in year 3. So I look forward to seeing you. Take care.
Hi, my name's Kit Lane and I teach general stagecraft, aspects of lighting technology and design, a little bit of rigging theory, and my professional practice is based around production management and video design.
Hi everyone, my name's Ian Mackenzie and I'm part of the SLET teaching team here at Derby. I hope you're enjoying your time with Ben and I look forward to seeing you all later. Cheers, take care now.
Hi, my name is John Burton and I teach on the Sound, Light and Live Event Technologies degree, as well as on the Master's degree in Audio Engineering. I joined Derby University a year ago after about 35 years working as a sound engineer, primarily on live concert touring. But I've also worked in television and radio, so I have quite a broad base of knowledge. Looking forward to meeting you in person and to hopefully welcoming you to Derby.
Hi, my name is Bruce Wiggins and I teach on modules such as audio digital signal processing, multi-channel sound system design and audio software engineering. Some of my research into immersive audio has made its way to Glastonbury Festival, into computer games and into the media player called VLC.
Hi, I'm Adam Hill. I'm an associate professor of electroacoustics, and I teach primarily on audio and acoustics related modules. Aside from the teaching, I often go back to my hometown of Chicago, where I support mainly large-scale music festivals, doing live sound and system design for them, and that usually embraces a lot of my research, which focuses on optimization of sound reinforcement.
Hopefully that you'll see from that we have great wide-ranging experience from audio, lighting, video, but also great research. And again, think about that. How many other universities you've gone to have an associate professor in their teaching list? How many universities have a world expert in surround sound? How many universities have a have a lecturer who has 40 years worth of experience touring live events at the top of their industry for live mixing and live sound? We have a great pool of staff, and hopefully that you'll realise that. And not only that, we all have an absolute passion for teaching students. We love spending time with students, we love supporting them, and hopefully that will ring true as you see this. Hence why we get 100% NSS for the last 3 years. Okay, let's move on. So the Sound, Light and Live Event Technology, it is a degree in engineering. Think about that right now. It isn't a Bachelor of Arts, it's a BSc, a Bachelor of Science, and we focus on engineering. We look at the theory and practice of the technology used. So we don't look at how it works, but obviously we do learn how it works because we need to know how it works to use it. But we understand the principles, the theory and practice of how that works. And because of that, it is actually quite academic in nature. There will be lectures, there will be sit-down teaching time. It is quite demanding. We will focus on maths a bit, we will focus on physics a bit, there'll be science, there'll be electronics. Here's two of our students, Dave Ralston, one of our electronics lecturers, focusing on a cable tester that you build in the first year right now. Yes, there is some pretty terrible soldering in that picture, but these are first years at this point, so it's okay. It is quite demanding, but the good news is, and why we focus on this rather than just how to use equipment and how to do an event, is that this opens up the door to so many different careers. We get students doing so many different things and all being incredibly successful. But it's an engineering degree with a difference. Yes, it's academic in nature. Yes, it's demanding, but we also go out and do real live events. So this is me and a team of third years from a few years ago. This is us doing the Christmas Carol service, where we empty every single piece of equipment that we have in our main auditorium. We drive it 10 minutes up the road to the main Kenilworth Road campus, and we set up here. It is big, it is bold, and we have great lots of fun. These students are looking particularly sleepy, more so than usual, because they had just spent the whole night beforehand and the whole morning setting up for this. The Sound, Light and Live Event Technology degree is one of the few courses of this type accredited by the IET. And that's important because the IET are a government-backed body specifically focused on accrediting engineering degrees. So the IET have come in, they've inspected us, they've looked at everything we do and said, yes, you are an engineering degree as defined by the UK government. And that's pretty important. It means that actually we aren't just a degree focusing on the nice things and how to make the lights look pretty and how to operate a sound desk and how to operate a lighting desk. We are a real degree. If you're spending this much money and investing this much coming to university, if you come and study this degree, you'll be investing in your future as backed by the UK government saying this is a real engineering degree. Again, think about that, about the other universities you apply for. How many of those universities have that absolute backing to say, yes, this is the degree that is really geared up for teaching you the really, really important technical things in the live events industry. When the IIT came to inspect us last time, they actually commended us for a highly innovative approach to an engineering degree. They really enjoyed the kind of things that we're up to. Our graduates work in all areas of the entertainment industry and beyond, actually. We have some very, very interesting graduates going out and doing completely different things. They really do contribute, and actually our employability levels are sky high. 90% of our graduates will work or study 6 months after finishing it. That's from the 2016 survey. But generally speaking, any graduate that wants to be in the industry, and sometimes some students do the 3 years and then say, actually, I don't want to be in the industry anymore. But the graduates that do, they will, if they're good enough and they're focused, they will get a job in the industry. The Derby brand is well known in the live events industry for producing excellent graduates that are able to slot into work-based environments. So we cover, it isn't a lighting degree, it isn't just a sound degree, it isn't just a live event technology degree, it is all of those. So we have a massive combination of many disciplines because we've listened to employers, we've listened to event companies that have said, we don't want someone that can just do lights. They might specialise in lights, yes, but we want someone that can fix the equipment when it comes in broken. We want someone that can actually do the rigging calculations. We want someone that can actually operate the sound and the lighting desk at the same time if we need to. So therefore we teach all of this. And this list here is a really exciting list actually. I read these subjects and go, yeah, even the slightly boring ones like the maths and the, dare I say it, the rigging, the networking. These are all critically important. In fact, just talking about the networking, when this course was founded over 20 years ago, we included computing and networking in it then. Our students at the time said, why are you doing networking and computing? We don't need that right now. Now, if you go to any live event, chances are the whole sound system and lighting rig and video system will be ran off an IP computer network system. Our graduates for the last 20 years have been trained and taught on this kind of system, and now the industry uses it. Our course is, as ever, future focused, looking towards the future and giving the students and our graduates the skills they need in order to excel in a future career. Our Sound, Light and Live Event Technology course comes with 3 slightly different flavours. We have our standard course. We also have our course with the industrial year. Now, this is a separate UCAS application. You can apply for this one separately if you want to, and this one has an industrial year. However, if you take our standard Sound, Light and Live Event Technology course, you can also choose an optional industrial year. So it doesn't really matter which one you pick for. It's just to help maybe show and highlight the fact that we do placements. And the placement is really great. We had a student last year work with a company down in Reading called SFL. And that student that year had gained so much experience. He helped part of the installation at the Royal Albert Hall for the brand new sound system they installed. And there's no end of other great experience that he gained on. However, we don't often get that many students doing our industrial year because our students get so much experience on the course, outside of the course, and some of them come with already experience. So actually we find that our students, by the end of the 2nd year, start of the 3rd year, they say to us, actually, Ben, we don't really need that industrial year. But it's there if you think we do, and we're more than happy to support, and there are always companies that are willing to take on students for an industrial placement. We also have another flavour of the course, because let's face it, we are an engineering degree. And sometimes you might come to us with qualifications that aren't quite suitable for a hard engineering degree. So therefore we have a foundation year option to teach you the basics. So we cover a module called preliminary maths, for example. We cover a module called electronics and other things to get you ready for academic study. And that's quite important. Actually, this is a really, really good year. Some of our best graduates who are currently succeeding really, really well in the industry came through our foundation year. So maybe if you don't have quite the correct UCAS points, or you decided to study something different for your BTEC or A-levels before this, you can still come and study our engineering sound and light course with this foundation year. So here's what you're going to do. You're going to be sitting in soldering labs, designing cable testers, circuit boards, surround sound decoders. You're going to be taking a look at a algorithm and some code and programming. You're going to be modeling the speaker response in the bottom left-hand corner there. This is a piece of software where you model a speaker response. You're going to be looking at equations. Now, these equations here, not to scare you, but just to highlight the kind of stuff that handheld audio meter testers do in the background. I don't expect you to come out of this degree and know exactly what these equations do, but having a vague understanding of what this means will help you when you come to actually work in the industry and start to get strange things happen. And you go, oh yes, that's because of the equation here. That's actually a logarithmic equation and it's integrated over time, that kind of thing. And it will help you. That's why we focus on the engineering side. But you'll also do things like this. You'll set up big rigs. So this was a university-made ball many, many years ago, but we're still doing this now. And there's no end of other things that I'm about to show you right now that we do. So here's our freshers ball that took place. Our students designed that and rigged it all. Here's our second year live event techniques band sessions, which we recorded in a film that gave them the full artifacts. Here is some third years projecting mapping into some buildings. Here's us unloading for a gig at 4 o'clock in the morning. Here's us practicing projecting mapping in the buildings. And here's our Christmas Carol service in the atrium. So here are some of the companies that our graduates work for. A company called Anna Valley. Anna Valley, their current managing director is one of our graduates right from the early days. And every single year, they recruit at least one of our graduates on their graduate training scheme. You go to the warehouse and there are Derby graduates everywhere. And again, we can highlight that for everyone. Hawthorne, a good local company that regularly recruit our graduates. Let's move on. So let's take a look at the actual course. Here's a little table showing you what kind of subjects we study. And again, this is open to change if we feel like we need to update some of our modules, some of our subjects, or if we need to actually, if the industry are telling us that maybe we should teach them something different. So here is year one. In year one, everyone studies the same thing. So you'll do electronics. So we do 2 electronics modules, one looking at electronics one looking at electronics from the analog and digital realm, and one from looking at electronics in a mathematical fundamentals way. Both of these subjects are practically applied. So in the electronic and mathematical fundamentals, you'll actually be building a headphone amplifier whilst learning the theory about how it all works. So the whole concept here is that we don't just get you in a lecture teaching you maths, but we're actually then using what we've taught you in those lectures to then actually build something within the same week. So you really will learn and apply those skills. Engineering workshop's great fun, soldering skills, cable making skills, and by the end of it you'll have made your own cable tester. And hopefully they'll work. And then we cover things like lighting and video technology and sound technology. And stagecraft is also great fun. Stagecraft is all about getting everyone to the same practical level for live event production in the first year. So right in the very first year, and that one's in the first semester, you will be learning practical live event skills as well as the theory, electronics and mathematical theory behind it as well. In year 2, we then move on. In year 2, the first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 options are everyone has to do, and then you can pick one of these 2 here, acoustics or electronic systems. So you can either concentrate on maybe how sound works, or if you want to concentrate on the electronics and building electronic systems, you can do that as well. Notice here that we also have sound and light pathways. The light one also covers video. We have our computing course where you learn how to code and you'll make your own little remote control software for mixing desk. And we cover in year 2 event design and management. Actually how to set up and organise an event focused primarily on festivals, which is quite exciting. We then have our optional placement year, which you can do regardless of which course you're enrolled on. And in year 3, you have 2 subjects that you have to do. We have one here called live event practice, where you go out and do real live gigs. Your assessment is to go out and do gigs. And we have so many gigs for you to do. Our students often come to us and say, guys, we've got too many gigs. We need to focus on our other work. And that's a great place to be. And the gigs are really good fun. One huge wide range of gigs. We have bands, with DJs, with corporate events. We have lighting, architectural lighting events. projection events coming on stream these days. And the other module you have to do is independent technology project. Now, this is a double module where you have to either do a design and build project, or you have to actually do some scientific testing. And then our other modules here, these are all optional. You have to pick 3 of these out of the 5 options: audio systems, DSP, electroacoustic and lighting design, multi-channel sound, video streaming display, and embedded systems. So hopefully you'll see that if you have any more questions, feel free to ask the university about how the makeup of this course is applied and the more specific subjects. Okay, let's very quickly talk about some of our graduates. Here's a guy called Tom Ralston. He actually graduated with me when I studied here. He is now the sales director of Eclipse staging in Dubai, and he is regularly doing the biggest, boldest events ever. It is amazing. The amount of work and technical skill that Tom could bring to his job made him grow up in the company so much, to the point now where he is the sales director of a huge company in Dubai. We have a guy called Tom Bland who works for a company called HoloViz. You probably haven't heard of HoloViz, but HoloViz are one of the companies behind immersive interactive experiences. So this is the Wicker Man in Alton Towers. Now, Tom's company HoloViz helped design. Tom is one of the key players now. He's travelling all over the country doing this kind of thing. It's pretty amazing. We have James Coughlin, who is a system tech at AdLib Audio. James is a big player in sound system installation and design, and James won the Breakthrough Talents Award at the Trade, the industry body's awards show in 2016. And here's a photo that James posted on Facebook not that long ago of one of his shows. And the great thing about being a system tech is that you set up, you turn up early, set up a sound system, and then when it's a show, you sit back and relax, happy that your system that you have installed and set up is there. So here's one of the recent shows that James did. We have Rebecca Cadd, who is a training specialist at Chevet in Campus. Rebecca goes all around the world training people on the latest lighting control desks that Campus use. So before we finish today's talk, I thought it'd be really nice to hear from one of our current students from her home. Here's Rachel, one of our second years.
Hi, I'm Rachel. I'm currently a second year studying Sound, Light and Live Event Technology, SLET. I just wanted to talk to you about what it's like to be a student at Derby University studying this course. So as I say, I'm in my second year, second semester at the moment. Doing the modules that I have to do at the moment is computing and communications. I chose electronics as one of my options, and I'm also doing live event techniques. Live event techniques is very straightforward. As you see, it is what you get. We do practicals, a big build. The areas that we have at the university gets completely changed into a gig that we build, we design, we put everything in, and we get bands in to then operate those gigs as well, which is fantastically practical and hands-on. And if you like fiddling with buttons, you've got so many buttons to press. However, there is a lot of theory on the backside of that, which helps you understand what buttons you're pressing and what they do, which is really important for something like this, which is brilliant help and is delivered by the lecturers with amazing patience. And if there's anything that you don't understand or you're not sure of, they're always there to be able to drop a message to or go and see and get the help that you need. And they're more than happy to sit there with you until you understand. As you can imagine, I do electronics, which is slightly more complicated than live events and is a lot more theory based. So there is a lot of maths to do and a lot of small elements that you need to get your head around to use as building blocks for the electronics that you get to at the end. However, we do again get to see that work practically, which is a massive benefit. It's something to be able to see it on paper, but when you've built it and you can see it working, it's a wealth of knowledge and everyone is there to help. Me joining this course is probably the best thing that I've ever done for myself, and I can imagine a lot of my colleagues would say the same. There is so much that you learn from with patience of people that are really passionate about the area too, and they want you to understand. So they put the time in, and it's a great cohort to be in. As I say, the other one that I'm doing at the moment is communications and computing. Again, a lot of theory behind it, how computers work, what components go in, how you do programming. If you enjoy coding, you'll love this. If you've never done coding before, don't panic. I hadn't, and I really enjoyed this module and really enjoyed the coding as well, because they are there to help you and the lecturers will help you. So there is a lot, but again, you get to practically see it happen. One of the things we coded this year was to create a remote control for another piece of software, all with code that we've written ourselves and helped through along the way. It is hard work, this course. It isn't something that you can just sit back, push buttons and pass. You do need to put the work in, but if you do put the work in, you get so much more out of it. It is probably, in my opinion, a great course. You can't fault the learning and dedication that the lecturers and all staff give us to get through these courses. It is amazing. It is something that I would really urge you to get your teeth into. If it's something that you enjoy and you're passionate about, absolutely put the work in and you're going to have something great out of it at the end. Thank you, and hopefully see you soon.
We have a Masters and Research programme with us. We have an MSc in Audio Engineering, so if you your time with us, you can carry on studying with us. And we regularly have PhD opportunities that come up as well. We currently have 2 PhD students working with us. So I hope that covered a few things, and I hope you learned some more. Please do get in touch with us at these addresses here if you want to ask any more questions. Thank you.